Namaste, Jai Bharat. Very recently, one US Senator speaks, I think in an interview with the Fox News, that they will crush the economy of Bharat. They will crush the economy of Bharat, China, Russia, etc. Now, this of course is saying, he says that he will crush the economy of Bharat. Well, the British during their rule in Bharat, during the entire lengthy colonialism, had already done their part. I'm not accusing the citizens of Britain. We have good relations and we talked to them nicely when we meet them somewhere. Enmity with them, in spite of the fact that they have looted and stolen everything from Bharat, including something like the Peacock Throne and the Kohinoor, so many things. I just mentioned casually, not very seriously. They come as they colonized to loot, understood. They looted, understood, but they impoverished us. Even that's understood. Then we came up at our own strength, at our own willpower, and the greatest fact with Bharat is, which the world is expected to realize, if they don't realize, they should realize that for 800 years plus the Muslim rule in Bharat, by and large, it's not that the entire Bharat was under the rule of Muslims, the Mughals, etc. for 800 years, but largest chunk of Bharat was under their rule. And then subsequently after 1947 also, the Mughal rule glorifying texts were printed and taught to us. You just take the names of the education ministers that followed 1947 independence, which had to become independent again, because if Bharat has to be independent, Bharat has to become Bharat from India. That's a very rich kind of a content-rich statement I am making. From India to Bharat, this long journey. That of course we have been doing it slowly and steadily, and we are approximating it. Approximation is what we can speak of. Achievement is still far flung, but then that remains a desideratum. So crushing the economy, I just sit somewhere and can't speak. You must have heard some talks by Winston Churchill, who was talking probably at the time of independence or post-independence, that if the rule had gone to rascals, okay, that's his language. Of course, after all, English is his language, not my language, though I speak. That's the impact of colonialism. Otherwise, I would have been speaking Sanskrit. Of course, it's not that we don't speak Sanskrit, we do. But this kind of a wider reach, all right. These are all times folly. I accuse it as times folly, not deliberate by human beings, let me say. But then human nature is definitely involved. The nature variations are also definitely involved. How you look at a thing shall be different from how I look at things, and this difference always remains. And then let's not consider that as difference, but let's consider them as variations of one human species. So crushing economy of Bharat, crushing economy of Russia, crushing economy of China, and you don't understand the Chinese. They can buy you if they want, though they are only third largest economy, I suppose. They can buy you if they want. They got technology, they got talent. They are under that kind of iron rule. I would never subscribe to communism because I understand communism. Even the later communists, neo-Marxists, like Gramsci, Althusser, etc., have disowned Marx as a humanist. There is an argument within the Marxian theoretical frame, that Marx is a humanist, and then they made a distinction between humanist Marx and revolutionary Marx, and Althusser goes to the extent of creating an epistemological break theory. So, anyone who loves mankind would like to appreciate Marx as a humanist up to the time when he wrote the book German Ideology, but not from economic and philosophical manuscripts of 1844, and they consider from that point is a revolution. And this is a different kind of really interesting discussion within Marxian frames, Marxism. So, as you are a humanist, nobody would subscribe to communism. Nobody can, nobody shall, because the communism what we find today in practice rules out the humanism in Marx. Marx was essentially a humanist. One of his folly is that he believed in the goodness, essential goodness of mankind. That's a very hypothetical kind of belief he had, but he did. So the point is that you just can't crush the economy of people or nations just by virtue of fantasizing upon it. There are many unknown, unexperienced, and knowable ingredients in the existence of each nation structurally and functionally, which the senator poor fellow can't understand. Maybe I don't want to take his name because I don't like to take people's name. They all have personal lives, and they also have the personal dimension of what their utterance be. Probably he wants to be in the good books of someone, most likely Trump, to make such statements. Maybe that he wants to get something. All these things are there, so it's not appropriate to take the names of people as I consider. So this man thinks that he can crush the economy of these people, but that remains a dream. You just think about the kind of sanctions you are imposed on people around the world, many nations, including Iran. I would not like Iran to go for nuclear ability. I would not like, because these people have proxies and know this. There's no discipline in that area. Many nations are not that disciplined to use nuclear weapons. It will go to somebody's hand and somebody had that, he will use it. It will go to, from hand to hand it will go if they have nuclear arsenal. And finally it reaches a person's hand who thinks death is the desideratum for him, because they believe in jihad, they believe in life after death, they believe in a heaven where real life starts after death. With such kind of belief, any person with such a belief is potentially dangerous, because you will do anything. If you don't care for your own life, then you will do anything to obtain that kind of a life which is positive in his mind. So that situation makes it very vulnerable to have nuclear arsenal. So that's one reason that I would not want Iran. They are good friends. Persians are of course good friends of Bharat before it became Iran. So we have nothing against Persians. They are old friends of us. We're traditional people, we're very cultural rich people. But then they have sanctioned. You have sanctioned Iran. What happened to them? They survive. They thrive. They also have an iron kind of rule, the Islamic rule, which has all kinds of rigidities and strictness. Same with China. But Russia is mostly different. But they are strong enough to withstand all those things. So imposing sanctions, you think you can't crush because you are not the only one. And don't forget one thing, that Bharat itself is the largest market. Population wise, we are now the largest populated nation in the world. We have our own market. If you don't buy it, all right, our own people will buy it. We have other economic sources. We have other income. It's not the case that we entirely depend on you. Don't think that Bharat is Pakistan, though Pakistan is Bharat till 47, and they themselves got alienated and lost their everything. Don't think that Bharat is Pakistan. You can talk to Pakistan because they have nothing. Entire independent time after time after partition of Bharat, they spent for religion, a religion which is not essentially theirs. Their essential religion is Hindu Dharma, which they have voluntarily estranged themselves in 47. I'm talking about the culture. They have disowned the culture also, not only faith system. We always make a distinction between faith system and culture. We have one culture, multiple faith systems. That's how the Muslims live in Bharat, as all of us live in Bharat, because within the Hindu Dharma's big umbrella itself, there are multiple faith systems. So a different faith system is nothing different to us, nothing new to us. We coexist. But then they missed the coexisting epistemological aspect of Bharatiya existence. So don't think that we are Pakistan who will depend on you all for everything. We don't depend. If at all we have relations of dependence, it should be one that of interdependence. So again, pay respect and take respect. Don't sit in your armchair and speak of crushing others' economy. Fantasy, just forget about it. Let's continue to our karma. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.